iOS and Android.
Now at 5, some pharmacists from across Kansas travel to Topeka to give a message to lawmakers. Plus, how a grant to help relieve a teacher shortage could help in southwest Missouri. And
the Trump administration's cuts to the federal workforce and foreign aid sparked protests nationwide. I'm Erica Brown at the White House with more on the reduction efforts led by Elon Musk and the fallout.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
More than 100 pharmacies across Kansas are closed today as workers meet with state legislators in Topeka. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Pharmacists hope to bring to light their concerns regarding pharmacy benefit managers, better known as BPMs. KOAM Samantha Walker has details.
PBMs are third-party administrators for health insurers' prescription programs. They're supposed to help negotiate for better drug prices and help determine rebates for pharmacies. But locally owned pharmacies say major PBM companies now own their own pharmacies and insurance companies and are driving their business away. Wolker Drugs in Baxter Springs is just one pharmacy hoping to inspire legislation that would help support locally owned pharmacies and bring more transparency and fairness to market.
What we hope for with that bill is that we actually continue to have patient access. And then what we hopefully is kind of stem away from some of the business practices that the PBMs are doing that are having an impact in closing community pharmacies throughout the state of Kansas.
Caswell tells us their day at the Capitol was very successful advocating for PBM reform. He says they have lots of support from the legislature. In the studio, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
We're going to have more information on the legislation they hope to pass in Kansas tonight on KOAM News at 6. The Southwest Center in Webb City has received a $4.3 million grant to combat teacher shortages in Missouri. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the rate at which teachers are leaving their positions is above the national average. This federally funded grant, called the TPQ, or Teachers Quality Partnerships Program, allows any individual who currently holds a bachelor's in any field to go back to school to get a master's in teaching.
The interesting thing about this is our candidates in the program have degrees in another field. So if you have a bachelor's degree that is not in education and have always wanted to be a teacher, we can put you in our program and you can be a teacher.
The grant was approved in October and will be awarded through the next 5 years. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, another gloomy day for us today, plus we have some pretty thick fog across the region. So if you are going to be out this evening into the overnight hours, watch out for the fog. 45 in Joplin, 39 in Pittsburgh. Good news, we're above freezing, so we don't have any frozen precip on the ground. But look at our visibilities, under a quarter of a mile from Girard, Lamar, Carl Junction, all the way down toward Grand Lake. As we go through the night, we're going to have periods of very thick fog, so we'll have visibilities, especially after midnight, dropping down almost where you can't see at all. So again, be very careful on the roadways into the morning hours. Cooler in our northern counties, you got mid to upper 30s, and then you got 50s in our southern counties. So pretty good spread of temperatures. Fog and drizzle, we mainly hold into the 40s as we go through the evening hours. When are we going to get out of this mess? We'll look at that here in a bit.
See you soon. President Trump is following through on his pledge to shrink the size of the government. CBS News has learned the latest effort includes offering a buyout to every single employee of the CIA. That comes as nearly every worker with the relief agency USAID is being put on paid leave, and many are being recalled from overseas. Erica Brown reports from the White House.
Demonstrators marched from coast to coast as people in all 50 states organized anti-Trump protests.
This is what democracy looks like!
A large crowd showed up outside of the U.S. Capitol protesting against President Trump's decision to dismantle USAID, the foreign aid agency. The agency became a target of Elon Musk, who's at the helm of Trump's special commission, the Department of Government Efficiency. USAID's more than 10,000 employees were notified they're being placed on leave. And all overseas projects are being halted, with plans pending to get personnel back to the U.S.
USAID
projects play an integral part of America's foreign policy objectives, and we do all of this with less than 1% of the national budget.
CBS News has learned all CIA employees have been offered buyouts, but staffers involved in sensitive areas such as intelligence gathering will not be allowed to take it. The Trump administration is also defending its decision to allow Musk's DOGE team, who are not government employees, to access a treasury system that handles trillions of dollars in grants, Social Security, and other payments to millions of Americans.
He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the receipts of this federal government and ensure it's accountable to American taxpayers. That's all that is happening here.
Several lawsuits have been filed to stop DOGE from accessing that content, and other lawsuits are moving forward to prevent the Trump administration from firing FBI employees who worked on January 6 cases.
They are engaging in a massive purge of the Department of Justice.
A federal judge is due to hear arguments in the FBI case Thursday. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
There's also a deadline of midnight tomorrow for federal workers who do not want to return to work in the office to accept a buyout from the Trump administration. The largest federal government employee union has warned workers not to take the buyout and is suing the Trump administration. President Trump's new proposal regarding the future of Gaza faces some major pushback. In a news conference yesterday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the president proposed the U.S. takes ownership of Gaza and relocates the more than 2 million Palestinians who live there. Egypt and Jordan, along with several other Arab nations and the Palestinian Authority, issued a statement condemning that idea. Stella had a promising new system for battling climate change.
A new system that turns one of the planet's most harmful greenhouse gases into climate-saving products. I'm Tina Kraus with the breakthrough technology.
But first, the science of warm drinks, how they can impact our bodies. Next in Health Watch.
Braun's massive meat sale is worth the trip. In-bag
interest financing for 72 months. Spend less and get more. Only at Ashley.
Topping today's Health Watch, yo-yo dieting is dangerous for type 1 diabetics and can increase their risk of kidney disease. A study by the Endocrine Society found that losing and regaining weight over and over again is dangerous for anyone and can raise the risk of cardiovascular events. But type 1 diabetics in particular have a much higher risk of getting kidney disease if they yo-yo diet. Not only can babies hear classical music while in the womb, but the music can also lower their heart rate. Researchers in Mexico measured the heart rates of fetuses as classical music was played, and it led to stable, more predictable heart rates. The research suggests that soothing music might stimulate and benefit the fetal autonomic system. It's been a cold winter in many parts of the U.S. For some, it's known as soup season, hot chocolate, or hot tea season. But do those warm drinks actually warm us up? Well, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield spoke with an international expert who says the answer might depend on when you drink.
When it comes to wintering winter, we all have our tricks.
I usually just go indoors and I just get in a blanket.
What do you do to warm up?
Head south.
As for local remedies, there's the Warm Como Conservatory and the go-to internal relief.
Chai, probably just coffee.
Hot tea.
For Zach Johnson, the preference is clear.
My daughter has discovered hot chocolate, and when your 2-year-old discovers hot chocolate, you start to fall in love with hot chocolate again.
Fun, but is it functional? Do you think that warm liquids actually warm us up?
I suspect in some way they do. I don't know exactly how, but yeah, I think so.
What do you do to warm up when you're outside?
Hot water.
Dr. Nathan Morris is coming in hot with the answer. When indoors, Dr. Morris works at the University of Colorado. He helped run an intricate study testing how body temperatures respond to hot liquids. Do warm liquids actually warm our bodies up?
So the answer is it'll depend on the situation you're in, but most of the time, no, they won't.
Dr. Morris says if you are outdoors, water-based drinks or soups will stop the symptoms of cold, but not raise your actual body temperature.
So you drink hot water, your shivering reduces, your metabolic rate reduces, but your core temperature isn't affected.
But he says the warm liquids may bump up your temp a little if you drink them before you go outside and put your body into stress mode. Still, an outdoor coffee, he says, has its perks.
It makes you feel more comfortable, and it stops you from shivering, which is going to make you feel a lot better.
So at the least, hot drinks, warm souls. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, CBS News.
Cheers to that. Dr. Morris has also done research on cold beverages and found they don't change core temperatures either. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we can talk about why your dog is bedwetting.
Plus the foggy, drizzly mess sticks around. We're going to look at that coming up.
Nominate your Ford State Hero today.
4072.
Well, it's definitely turned out to be kind of another nasty day outside today. Gloomy, cloudy, foggy, drizzle across the region. We've seen this over the past 2 days, yesterday and today, and we're going to see a lot of it continuing as we go through the next few days. Look how foggy it is. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo's just outside of Seneca. But if you're going to be out driving tonight, make sure you watch out for the fog. Through the evening hours, temperatures kind of holding steady, low to mid 40s. Drizzle, fog, sticking around through the night. So we have dense fog advisories all the way through tomorrow morning for everybody in the viewing area. Visibilities mainly at times under a quarter of a mile. You can see under a quarter of a mile, Lamar, Girard, Carl Junction to Grand Lake, Neosho. Other areas under half a mile, so it's very thick, especially along that Kansas-Missouri state line. And through the night, you can see these visibilities near zero all the way into tomorrow morning. And then finally, the fog lets off a little bit as we get through the morning hours. Look at the temperature spread, 60 in Cassville, 36 in Yates Center. But everybody across the board is above freezing, so we don't have to deal with any frozen precip outside, which is good. We've had some light little showers and drizzle continuing to push through. So these are light little showers across southwestern Missouri. But again, everybody else is seeing drizzle across the region as we continue to get these weak waves which are pushing through. We have another one just to our west which will kind of flare up the drizzle and showers once again late Friday and then into Saturday. Let's go through time. Light showers and drizzle continue this evening and fog. Temperatures pretty steady. Most of us into the mid 40s, may warm to near 50 by morning. We have another front that drops in tomorrow morning. You can see this wind shift line, and along it, we'll get some light showers and drizzle once again. These will kind of sink south, mainly along the south of I-44 by the noon hour, but we're still going to have mostly cloudy skies and some drizzle for most of us. It will kind of taper off during the afternoon, and most of us will be into the mid to upper 40s for afternoon highs. Tomorrow night, clouds build back in late after midnight. So here's Friday morning. Guess what? We start with some more drizzle. Through the day on Friday, mostly cloudy skies, on and off pockets of drizzle once again, mid 40s, upper 40s to near 50 degrees. So really what we've seen over the past couple days. This continues all the way into Saturday morning, and then we'll start to get at least a short little break. But let's go into, so late Saturday, another front drops through. Let's go into Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of clouds. We have some showers just to our south. So we're going to have to watch this to see if it kind of sneaks north into the region. But by Monday, looks like a wintry mess. So a wintry mix starts to push in. One wave Monday, another wave on Tuesday, another wave on Wednesday into Thursday. So it gets really interesting as we go through the next week or so. All right, let's go for a high temp of 49 on your Thursday, 46 Friday, up to 57, but in the morning on Saturday. Most of the weekend's going to be kind of dreary and cold, and then the chances for snow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week.
Keep our eyes out for that. Thanks,
Got it.
Coming up, a new approach for battling greenhouse gases. That's just ahead in Consumer Watch.
It's Wesco Home Furnishing Stars and Stripes present. Available now. The perfect gift for any occasion.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, scientists say cutting methane emissions is key to saving the planet. But what about the big industries that aren't readily able to curb their production of harmful greenhouse gas? Well, a British company says it has the answer: turn methane into something else. Tina Kraus has that story.
Methane is a menace to the planet, an invisible gas scientists say warms Earth much faster than carbon dioxide.
It comes from landfill sites, from sewage treatment facilities, from farms, and from oil and gas operations and pipelines.
A British tech company set out to tackle this climate change challenge by giving methane a makeover.
The magic happens in here.
The magic happens in here.
Levidian Chief Executive John Hartley says this patented loop system uses microwave energy to split methane molecules, capturing hydrogen for clean fuel and carbon in the form of graphene, the world's thinnest and strongest material.
So this is a cube of graphene that we've extracted from methane gas.
A self-described graphene geek,
It's such an exciting time to be involved in graphene. It's awesome.
Dr. Ellie Galanis and her team are busy using it to boost the durability of everyday products.
So when you put graphene into the tire tread, you can make it stronger, you can make it last longer, and you can make it more fuel efficient.
Scientists also tried it in concrete.
Without graphene, it tends to crumble a lot more easily, but with graphene, it's much stronger.
And they're adding it to medical gloves.
You know, when surgeons do the snap test, they're trying to check if it will break, and that doesn't happen when you add graphene in. It makes them much stronger and more puncture resistant.
Researchers in England only discovered graphene 20 years ago, and Levidian sees years of growth ahead for its potential applications.
The clothes that you wear might have graphene in them so that they're more sustainable.
Engineers say it feels good knowing a little bit of black can help create a greener future. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Cambridge, England.
Scientists say graphene also helps to boost battery life in electric vehicles. Levidian says its loop system has now reached the U.S., with a company in Georgia using it to reduce its carbon footprint. Our Pet Vet on Call, up next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by
To salute Jason Stone, a four-state hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, it could be the most rapid transformation of the U.S. government in a generation. So why is it happening, and what could it mean to you? Then on KOAM News at 6, a deeper dive into why a lot of Kansas pharmacists say a new law is needed to keep competition on a level field. Plus, some Southwest Missouri educators react to the grant program intended to get more teachers into classrooms. And on this National Signing Day, dozens of our local high school athletes are making college commitments. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Just like humans, our pets can face differing health challenges as they age. Today's question for our Pet Vet on Call comes from Ruth. She writes, "My dog's about 9 to 10 years old, and for a couple of years now, she'll urinate while sleeping, maybe once a week. She's been put on antibiotics for a UTI, but is this normal?"
Well, yes and no. She's urinating in her sleep because she's an old lady, and I'm assuming she's spayed, so she has a lack of estrogen. Estrogen helps maintain bladder sphincter tone. So when you get old or when you're spayed, hysterectomy, you have a lack of estrogen, and therefore your bladder is weak and you bedwet. Ladies, you know, you cross your legs when you sneeze, or you're wearing Depends at night. Same thing for dogs. And UTIs are common because of that weak sphincter, bacteria can get in the bladder a lot easier and cause an infection. So go back to your vet, take care of the bedwetting problem. It's real easy with some medicine. And if that takes care of your UTIs, everything is solved.
Hey, thanks for the question, Ruth. We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to PetVet, KOAMTV.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen an adult male lab mix named Grinner. The society says he's gentle and friendly, not grinning at the moment, but usually does. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have a black Labrador Retriever puppy, a male named Spike. If you're looking for a pet, why not at least check out your local Humane Society? They always have a lot of great pets there. The weather kind of dreary over the coming days.
Yeah, we're going to continue with the fog and the drizzle for us tonight, and still tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. May get a little bit of sunshine late, but drizzle, especially in the morning hours. Drizzle again on Friday, a few showers Saturday, Super Bowl Sunday, mostly cloudy, some snow chances early next week. So a lot going on over the next few days.
So Sunday sounding like a very good day to stay inside in front of the television, maybe watching a football game or something.
Yeah, there's one on, I heard.
That's what I've heard as well. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. Let's make it a great evening.